many logos of StarTale as that screen goes by there.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I know.
Some of the best and worst in esports history. Down here at the 6 o'clock position of Metropolis, we have our Purple Zerg player from Team Liquid, the Manor Bear himself throwing out the have fun, good luck. It is Sheth. And his opponent over at the 12 o'clock position from StarTale, winner of game number 1, our green Protoss player, ST.AcE. And he won game 1. I can only imagine the celebration in my mind that happened.
He just gets up in the StarTale house and starts like dancing around and stuff.
He better, otherwise I will be sorely disappointed.
He just like goes over to his router and like gives it a thumbs down because that's like his direct connection to TLO on the other side of the internet. He's like, take that, router.
He just like puts his fist all the way through the router and punches TLO out the other side.
No.
Like that's his only way of.
He's not violent. We don't do violence here.
If I could punch people through routers, I would give it a shot.
Well, yeah, but I would only do it in the most appropriate of circumstances.
That's true. I don't know. That's pretty appropriate, but we'll see here. As ST.AcE throws down first pylon up at the front. Decided a 17 Nexus last time. Of course, it's a very economical way to go about things, but you know, pulled it off pretty well. TLO wasn't putting on that much pressure. Tried over at the third a couple of times, you know, but was really just sitting and waiting for that tier 3 tech. And no surprise out of Sheth so far, just putting down that pool.
Yep, 15 pool out of Liquid Sheth. And probably going to try to get a hatchery soon afterwards, sending that drone down there, and he might just decide to send it to the third. We'll see. Okay, now sending it back to go after the probe. Yeah, he's probably going to pull off another drone and try to sneak one past. Sometimes what you can do is you can sort of juke and fake out the probe. You know, you can kind of like come up and then move around. But it looks like Sheth is just going to be content with kind of poking around that drone until it goes away. And wow, ST.AcE actually lets it go down. He's usually the type of player to try to deny that for as long as possible. So, and he had enough for a pylon, so I feel like that was actually a little bit of a mistake by him.
Yeah, if we remember back in, I think it was Team Arena Challenge 2, ST.AcE was actually a player who was doing that a lot. He was forcing his Zerg opponents to go for a third on his terms because he wanted to disrupt the rhythm of his opponents, and it worked out really, really well. His strategy has obviously been a little bit different this go-around. He was using a lot of 2-base attacks then. Last game we saw TLO, in the game against TLO, I should say, a nice long macro PVZ. So a different approach from him kind of altogether.
Well, I know when he was at IPL4, I talked with him a little bit, and we talked a little bit about his ceremonies and things like that, and he really, really made it a point to impress on me the fact that he was practicing really, really hard, that he knows that people know him for his ceremonies, but he wants people to know him for good play, you know? So he's taking his practice extremely seriously. I feel like we've seen him improve as a player in the last 6 months, certainly since IPL4, by quite a bit. And I would say that last game is a good, you know, indication that he's certainly been putting that practice to good use. So, yeah, he likes the celebrations, but he wants to have he wants to be able to celebrate his own wins from time to time, you know?
StarTale has a very strong Protoss core. Yes, obviously, Squirtle, one of the best players in the world. Parting was widely regarded as one of the best players in the world for a while. Has gone down just a little bit, but still world-class elite-level player. And ST.AcE has stepped up his game where he can be in that same conversation as those two, you know? He's performing really well, and I've been happy to see it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what he decides to do to try to take down Sheth. Pretty standard stuff so far from both players. Nothing really out of the ordinary. No, you know, especially early gases on either side or anything like that. Just a normal game. Just another day. Just another day on Metropolis, man.
Just another PVZ. Queens checking in at the office. So
that's right. Queens with their sedentary lifestyle, just sitting by the hatcheries, injecting creep every 30 seconds, or injecting larva rather.
Zergling's just like, guess we got to do this. All right, probe.
Yep.
Let's get out of here.
Chasing futilely.
Yeah.
Never able to quite kill the probe. Do you think Zerglings have like nightmares at night where they're chasing a probe and they're just never able to catch it? Then they wake up and it's like, oh no, that's reality.
Let's see here is the Zealot sitting out in the middle of the map as well. Finally, we'll be able to trap those Zerglings, and yes, the nightmare continues. They have to run away.
That's right. Now I have nightmares about his little cocoon partner not surviving the Zealot attack, the vicious Zealot attack. Pretty quick robo, actually, from ST.AcE. All right.
Yeah. This has been a cool strategy, one we've seen employed a lot on this map. It's really useful on this map to get out a few additional early Immortals. Just keep yourself incredibly safe.
Yeah.
And looks like second gateway coming up. We'll probably see 2 more here out of ST.AcE, and then we'll see what he moves into afterwards. Of course, +1 weapons is on the way, but he started that quite a bit later than he did his Warp Gate technology. In game number 1 against TLO, he started them both at about the same time.
Yeah, so I'm wondering after the Observer is built, if we're going to see Ace move right into Immortals, possibly, or if we're going to see him play for a little bit longer of a game. We'll see.
We'll
Normal
find out.
stuff for Sheth on the other side. He's getting his lair before his Zergling speed, it looks like, which is something that a lot of Zergs do choose to do. I mean, Zergling speed is nice to have early on to find pylons and things like that, and I feel like we're going to see Zerg players start to put more of an emphasis on getting that sooner in the future, but right now, not a lot of Zergs really worry about getting Zergling speed all that quickly in Zerg versus Protoss.
Hello, 5 more gateways. So
Yeah.
total of 6 gates with +1 coming up for Ace. And second Observer is just popping out now. And he is starting to go to work on the destructible debris off to the right. Of course, he did full wall up at the front, so we'll need to take that down for some maneuverability. And indeed, we do have Immortals on the way, so we'll see if it becomes a 6-gate robo expansion or if he plans to launch an attack behind a couple of Immortals.
Well, it certainly looks like an expansion unless he's planning on faking anything right here, especially because he made that Observer first. If he had started right away with Immortals, then, you know, I would say, yeah, we're probably going to see some sort of all-in, but the two factors of getting that Observer out and then also going through the rocks certainly makes it looks like he's going to want to try to play a longer game again. And, yep, there's a silhouette for the Nexus, so it will get started at least.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
Circling
Oh,
pulls.
there we go.
Circling actually pulled itself out of position to attack the probe, and he was able to get the Nexus started right away. Immortals, of course, make very quick work of destructible debris. As soon as Sheth sees that, actually a little bit before that, he decided to put down his own 4th base.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, if you see your Protoss opponent take their 3rd, you know, they're probably going to want to play that longer game. It's usually not a fake, so you want to take your 4th. Usually at this point, if you haven't made your macro hatch yet as Zerg, you do have the resources to just do that and not really slow down your unit production at all either. So Sheth might be able to deny this 3rd. And if he can deny this 3rd and then get away without losing a lot of units, he'll be in great shape. He'll be 2 bases up on his opponent, but on this map, I feel like it's so hard to do that sort of thing.
Well, we'll see what he goes with here because adding on additional gases, there's finally the infestation pit. I was wondering when that was about to pop up because he was investing quite a bit into this roachling attack, as we see. There's actually a fair number of roaches, but I guess they're all back at home. No, there they go, finally moving out along the left-hand side. +1 weapons did finish up for ground units, or for range units, I should say, and being started for melee units now.
Yep, speed isn't quite done for those. Oh, never mind. It did just finish for the roaches, so it took those guys a little bit longer to catch up, and he's going to try a 2-pronged attack here, attacking the 3rd, and then either sweeping down to flank that army. No, just attacking the natural instead, trying to draw Ace's units out of position. Oh, man, and he's going to get the Forge, too. Did he get it? He did get the Forge, so that's going to hurt Ace a little bit.
Oh, but this is
gonna get the Nexus,
really
too.
going to hurt Ace as Ace loses his 3rd base.
Oh,
Sheth
what?
going to be
Okay,
sitting
there
on
we go.
4. There we go. Finally takes it down. May even be able to
Getting
nab
some
himself some
sentries.
sentries on the way out. Yeah,
Man.
2 of them have already fallen. Most of the energy has gone away from the rest of those
3
as well.
sentries dead as well, so that's just kind of icing on the cake at this point for Liquid Sheth.
Very well
He got
done.
a lot accomplished with that, yeah, stopping the upgrades and stopping that 3rd base while he takes a 4th base. Now he's going to start that spine crawler production out in the front, and Sheth in a pretty good spot right now. His opponent does have Colossi and Blink on the way, so Sheth will need to think about getting that Spire in the near future here, but overall, not a bad start.
Pretty much everything went right there for Sheth, I have to say. Didn't lose that many units. He killed the upgrades that were coming up. He destroyed the 3rd base and delayed that. He established his own 4th at the same time. Now he's moving up to Infestor Tech. Things are going swimmingly for Mr. Sheth.
Yep, that's right. And you know what? In space, it's easy to swim because you're weightless.
That is a fact, but I think there's some sort of artificial gravity. I mean, this is Metropolis. It's a city, so...
I suppose.
Yeah.
But maybe when you get up around the height of the overlords, then you get a little bit more weightless.
So, are these roads, or is this public transport? I don't know.
I think
Infrastructure's good, though, I have to say.
in the future, it's probably going to be public transport. But
yeah.
You never know. Maybe there's some roads for those old, car aficionados.
You have such a nice view of the future. I'm
Hey,
happy.
Man. No, I'm just
my inner
basing
liberal's
this,
like, oh,
I'm just basing this all on SimCity 2000. That's it.
Ah, okay.
You know, trains
that's a fair assessment.
Trains cause less pollution in SimCity, so you just do nothing but build that. And when people complain about no roads, you're like, I don't care.
Well, looks like Sheth is going to go for a two-pronged attack
Goodbye,
one more
Forge.
time. Now,
Not.
Ace, of course, does know that there are some forces sitting off to the right, so he's not going to bite so much. Does take out the Forge one more time. Looks like he's going to try and take down this pylon as well. Depower a couple of photon cannons up in the front, maybe able to swing through. No, another force field does trap him out.
Well, there's another pylon back there as well. Now, Sheth probably should make a run for it here. He, yeah, there we go. Okay, he is going to make a run. Maybe a little bit late. Blink is done, and he's going to lose a couple of these roaches. It still manages to keep some alive, so again, I would say just doing enough damage, killing off those upgrades is so helpful here. He does have +2 for melee himself on the way. Doesn't look like it's going to finish anytime soon. Ace trying to take a fourth now and getting that fleet beacon too. Interesting. Okay, so now StarTale Ace's teammate Squirtle does like to get carriers quite a bit in PvZ. This is probably going to be for a mothership this time around, but you never know, man. I mean, if he feels like he's got enough of a lead, he could go for carriers. No starports yet out on the map, though. Well, except for the one that he built a little bit earlier, but that is about it. Hasn't really used it that much.
All right, so let's see here, though. My brother, of course, texted in to say that he'd go for roads. The Terran Confederates don't really strike him as the public transit type, so.
That's a good point.
But here's a big counterattack inside of the main. He drew some units away one more time. Sheth just on top of really forcing his opponent's multitasking to its limit. But Ace already did have a few forces there. The Roach is just kind of powering their way through the front. They're going to try and kill some economy here. And this is once again going to serve to delay Ace and sit him back at home while, as we can see, Sheth moves up to Broodlords.
Yeah, he's going to lose a little bit of mining time here. Lose actually a lot more probes than I thought he would. Those Stalkers just almost out of range. Only a couple of them firing on the Roaches. And that made that do a little bit more damage than I think it should have for Liquid Sheth. But Ace is going to try to just kind of plod along. He's going to try to continue, play patiently, play for that extreme late game. He's going to probably start doing some harassing with his Warp Prism once that comes out. His upgrades, though, are so late. I mean, he's getting 1-1 right now, and we're 16:30 into the game. Yeah, those units have no upgrades.
This is usually that moment when you're seeing, 3-3 started. So this is quite a bit far behind. So yeah. Now Sheth, though, nice defensive position back at home. He's got quite a few spine crawlers sitting up. He can play the delay game. He's even got Corruptors in position to intercept just these sort of War Prisms, and this could end in disaster pretty soon.
Wow, he's actually going for an Immortal drop with this. He's going to try to snipe some buildings, but this could really backfire on him. There's, oh man, there's everything there. Oh no, that Immortal with those, those Immortals. Oh, those Immortals. I don't know why I'm just saying, those Immortals a lot, but they're going to die.
The Immortals.
Goodbye, Immortals.
Well, he does have speed, so he can get away from the
He actually can get away. What?
Yeah, because Corruptors are very fast units, yes, but War Prisms with speed are pretty blinding.
Wait, he wants to die. All right, never mind. I want to die.
Okay, see you later. Oh, it's because he's dropping over at the top as well.
Yep.
Almost missed that one as a result. So he does manage to kill the hatchery, loses the Immortals, but Sheth down to base now on equal bases with his Protoss opponent. Very well done there by Ace.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that ended up working out okay. I still feel like it would have been nice for him to kind of save that Warp Prism filled with Immortals, but either way, it's just kind of how things go. He's really got a lot of resources banked up too. Ace, 50 supply away from being maxed, but you can see he's getting his Templar Archives. He's getting 5 more gateways, so he will be maxing out fairly soon here. And he also wants to keep around, that amount of supply too, maybe a little bit higher later on, just so he can do these types of warp and attacks. If you max out, then you can't do this sort of thing. So if you stay around like 180-ish, 170, 180-ish, that ends up being where you want to go until that late game push where you want everything in one big army.
He does have enough resources to start investing in upgrades. Surprise charge hasn't been started, just those sorts of things as well. So
that is a little bit surprising, isn't it?
Well, Ace is going to back away with one of the Warp Prisms, takes a little damage on it, but gets away. Sheth almost max, sitting with, okay, well, it's going to be a total of 9 Broodlords now, so it's a fair number. 13 Infestors on the ground, and a good contingent of Zerglings to support those, so.
Yep. Oh, I like this too. Overlord drops on the way for Liquid Sheth, so he's actually going to give himself the option to do that sort of thing as well. Maybe take the islands too with this. A lot you can do with Overlord drops, but look at this, a Warpin in the main base. That is a lot of Zealots.
And he's going to go right after the Greater Spire. At the same time, we have a couple of units. Okay, those are just Zealots making their way through. Not quite what I expected. Will Sheth be able to clean this up in time? Looks like he is, just barely going to if he can transfuse it.
Very nice.
He does. The Greater Spire down to 500 hit points, but it looks like it will stay up.
Yeah, it will live. Nice transfusing for Liquid Sheth, keeping that alive. This really illustrates why TLO kind of sim-citied his in between other buildings so that this type of thing wouldn't happen to it. And that base is probably going to need to get canceled unless he can get units there very quickly. Here they are showing up. And yeah, I think if Ace would have focused on that hatchery, he might have been able to take it out. But as it is, his multitasking was needed elsewhere, it looks like.
And, yeah, not getting anything else done over at the Greater Spire. Trying to check around and see if I see any other green splotches. More Zealots being warped in now. Is he going to focus this down? No, just going after the Zergling count here. He has effectively... Now, this is doing what Sheth was trying to do before with the multi-pronged attacks. It's pinning his opponent down and making it so he can't move out across the map. While ACE continues to take the his 5th base, moving up in tech, banking resources, and making sure he has those higher upgrades he needs.
Man, and Sheth is just losing a lot of Zerglings to this, too. I mean, efficiency-wise, because the upgrades are a little bit behind for ACE, it's not working as well as it could have at most times in a late-game PvZ like this. But it's not bad, and here come more Zealots warping into the main. There's also a Nidus Worm going up somewhere.
That's right. It's inside of ACE's 5th.
Oh, man. He's got Archons there, but if it's not just a bunch of Lings, he might be able to do some damage.
Looks like it's going to be all Infestors for now.
Interesting. It's just going to be Infested Terrans. Yeah, there they are. Archon's making a run for it, and that Nexus is probably going to die.
Yeah, so very nice job by Sheth. He's going to burrow underneath and go around the back as well. This is a really cool maneuver. At the same time, ACE is continuing to drop in. There are no units in place now for Sheth.
Wow, yeah, he needs to get back there and defend that hatchery right now. This Nexus, oh, the Nexus, because of the Colossi, may live. In fact, it will. Sheth not targeting the Nexus down.
But he loses a hatchery.
Oh, loses the hatchery.
And another Warp Prism coming in for ACE as well. But at the same time, more economy has been denied from Sheth. How many workers has he killed? 20 so far in this game, but a lot of those were earlier on.
Yeah, ACE really kind of playing a great game, though, with all these warp-ins. He's got enough bases to support this type of thing. With the Broodlords out now, it looks like that's not going to be something that he can sustain. But he does have Blink Stalkers. He is making Void Rays right now as well, I believe. And so that's going to be something that's going to be pretty good. Oh, no, he doesn't have Void Rays, does he? No.
He has a couple.
I thought he had. Yeah, he does have. I thought I saw some somewhere. Yeah, I mean, Void Rays do extra damage to massive units, so that can be a way to handle Broodlords if you want to.
And looks like that will finally go down there. The Nidus Worm not going to be a threat. However, these Infested Terrans racking up a few kills here. More economic damage being done, and still the Infestors are sitting around. ACE just continues to drop everywhere, though. A Broodlord even called in to help defend.
Well, this won't continue for too much longer. The mineral count for ACE is starting to get a little bit low. He's going to start thinking about, or start having to think about his main army with this. Sheth is pretty much done with everything. He's like, all right, it's time to attack. I've got my Broodlords. I've got Infestors. My upgrades are pretty decent right now. But this has given ACE a pretty good amount of time to get a decent defensive force built up as well.
And continuing to do damage to that Nexus, but not killing it. Those Zerglings, unfortunately, running into a wall of AoE death. Mothership has accumulated full energy now, though. Let's see. I'm not sure. Where is an Infestor for me to grab? Yeah, Neural Parasite is done, so we can go ahead and pick that up as well.
Cuddle with it or something? Or what?
I do. They're so cute.
It's like, oh, their tentacles aren't slimy at all. They're just soft.
It was actually neural parasiting me and telling me to say that, but that's okay. 3 Warp Prisms are out on the map, so...
goodbye, Greater Spire.
Let's
Don't think he's going to be able to save this one. He's trying to get back in time. Does he have enough transfuses? It's getting low, down to 100 hit points, back up to 300. The transfuses just barely keeping it alive. Wow. That was about as close as it gets.
That was very impressive from Sheth there. Is there another drop going into the top? There is not.
Could be, but there's not. There's a Broodlord there and some other defensive structures as well. A couple Infestors lurking in the base of ACE, which is completely different than the ACE of base.
That's considerably different.
Don't get the two confused.
Well, 3 more Archons morphing in. Total of 7 now out on the map. Very strong armies for both of our players. 12 Broodlords in total, another 6 Corruptors coming up. So Sheth's certainly going to be able to hang with this fight through the air.
Yeah, that's so many Broodlords, man. And he's still doing damage with these Infested Terrans. The Nexus, don't think it's going to die to this unless those Colossi just literally just sit there or move away. I mean, if they...
Yeah.
All right, there we go. He cloaked it, so that's good.
Yes, that helps, but he's going to lose. No, it looks like the probe's just barely staying alive there. Finally, that's cleaned up. But a nice job by Sheth to split up these Infestors, too, and just make sure that they still sit back there and don't take any more damage.
Yep. Void Rays patrolling around the map. Overlords checking things out here and there. +3 weapons and +3 flyer carapace on the way as well for Sheth. So his upgrades have been pretty good. He's also getting more missile attack upgrades just so he can kind of rely a little bit on roaches. There is another Nidus Worm on the way, and this time it's in the main. And will it be able to get anything out? That so many Zealots and Nidus Worms just do not have a lot of hit points. Yeah, that is that.
Nope, 200 hit points. Another one trying to come up, but unfortunately it's sitting right underneath the photon cannon, so Sheth not going to be able to get anything done with that either.
Yep.
Charge!
He's got plenty of resources, too. And, yeah, it does appear that ACE kind of forgot charge for a little while. And at this point, why not get all your upgrades anyway? So,
yep.
Sheth Nidusing again, or not Nidusing again. He is actually getting +3 missile attacks and a Baneling Nest. Okay.
Yeah.
If he can, well, there aren't a lot of sentries out, so if he can hold his units in position, that can work. He does also have drops as well.
God, so many resources.
This is a crazy game, man.
Yeah, this got very interesting. I mean, there was a lot of action right from the very beginning with Sheth with his multiple attacks. Apparently not run far enough. He's just lazy.
Go. Mothership chasing an Overlord. Oh, he finally does get it.
Mothership's got 3 kills. Well done. I always thought it was funny the Mothership was the Disciple, though. Like, it had the same ranks as everyone else. It's a Mothership. Come on.
Shouldn't it just always be Mother?
Yeah.
Or you think so?
Rank Awesome, but
maybe.
Anyway. Well, that's a fair number of creep tumors. Sheth going to continue to try and push that out through the middle of the map. Needs every little advantage he can get. Going to lose those queens, though, it appears. Those 3/3/3 Archons.
Wow.
Now moving through, we do have another Nidus Worm, and it's popping up where ACE can see it.
Man.
But he's not going to react in time.
Well, Sheth is using Nidus Worms in a very interesting way here. I mean, he's just kind of continuing to use them to harass in the late game. And if you think about it, they are fairly cheap, and this could actually do a little bit of damage. The Zerglings are getting out. I'd like to see him put some Nidus Worms in his bases, though, and use them like the old Nidus Canal from Brood War. You know, just a way to get his army from place to place quicker. Don't see too many Zergs using that yet, but the way that he's using it is okay. He's doing a little bit of damage here and there with it, but...
Well, keep checking around for Warp Prisms as well. Doesn't look like ACE has launched another attack on this Greater Spire. It's just been slowly accumulating hit points throughout the course of this game. Both players have been stuck on 5 bases for a while.
There we go.
Honestly, Sheth going to need to move out and take another one here in a bit. And yeah, I see what you're talking about. Where are they getting put up at?
I was wondering when the starports were going to start coming down, and there they are. So he can use these for Void Rays if he wants to. They would be very good against the Broodlords. Or, you know, he could go like Squirtle and go for carriers as well, getting 1/1 for his ship upgrades as well. He does have 2 Cybercores, and that is the Graviton Catapult. Yep, it's going to be carriers.
Okay, well, we'll find out how this goes for ACE. It's seen mixed success recently. It's been used in some high-profile situations to great success. It's also backfired and failed miserably. So really going to depend on execution. Oh, this is a disgusting little drop. Couple of sentries and then drop those units and High Templar Storm on top of it.
There's a chance of storms. I'm the weatherman. And those drones forgot their umbrellas.
Wow. That was really well done. I have to applaud you for that as well.
Thank you.
So, yes, I like that.
Spine crawlers are not doing too well against those zealots, but it is enough to kind of delay things. The infestors are like, go, spine crawlers, go. They're just cheering from the back.
This is really well. I mean, that's not a big investment though to take down those spine crawlers, which of course aren't the recipient of upgrades throughout the course of the game.
Run.
So,
help me!
3/3/3 zealots.
Spine crawler. No, don't turn away from that.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I don't care if
fine.
there's a drop going on. There's zealots chasing a spine crawler.
All right,
that's more important.
There. Okay.
Oh, that was like one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
Well, I'm glad we witnessed that.
If I was in the ground, you guys would be in so much trouble.
Well, 14 infestors coming up now for Sheth. Going to really rely on his infestor control. It's going to give a total of 25 here when all is said and done.
What was that Colossus doing out in the open? I feel like, yeah, he's actually just sacrificing supply to free up space for carriers right now.
Can you fathom, like, sacrificing Colossi?
And maybe that was a mistake.
But he's got to start building things quick. He's at 158 supply right now, and those carriers take a very long time to morph in. There we go.
Why is he not? Okay, there we go. So, yeah, there's the carriers on the way now. It's big game hunters all over again.
That's
5 carriers at once.
But Sheth kind of has an opportunity right now.
He
like
does.
I said,
he should attack right now.
120 seconds for carriers to come up. Another Greater Spire coming up as well. Okay, I was like, oh, did I miss a drop? No, that one's still up. Just, well, let's get 2.
I mean,
backups.
I feel like Sheth realizes this, too. He's like, hey, that's kind of weird that you're just sending all these units at me just to die. He's like, what are you freeing up supply for? And the very obvious answer in most cases would be carriers these days.
Well, Sheth has got an army of changelings to take a look at things here, and let's see. He doesn't know about the base on the island quite yet. Fortunately, this hatchery is under fire, but just by 1 Saku will be able to clear that up here with his massive amount of infestors.
Yeah, now, here's the thing, is that at this point, fungal growth, because there's not as much AoE out on the map right now, may be a little bit less useful than just tons of infested Terrans. There's still some Archons, but We'll see what happens. I mean, when Protoss doesn't have a lot of area of effect damage, Zerg players can use Infested Terrans to just kind of trade energy for units. So Sheth, with that amount of Infestors, can throw down quite a few, and that might not be a bad idea. With the upgrades, those Infested Terrans are actually going to do a lot of damage very quickly to things like carriers, too. And yeah, he's going to use mostly Infested Terrans.
Well, he's at least going to use them to buffer some damage while he moves some units to the front here. And oh my God, that I don't even know what that was. It was just
a very sad stalker. That's what that was.
Broodlings just appearing from everywhere. So, well, those stalkers, I'm not sure where they're going either, but just their death, I suppose.
Yeah, he needs to be careful about using so much energy like this without really getting to use the Infested Terrans. He's doing it in case ACE would come and attack him right now, so he's trying to stay safe with that. But ACE obviously not doing it, so a little bit of wasted energy there, unfortunately, for Liquid Sheth, but he's still got probably one of the scariest Zerg armies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, this
How many
is
Broodlords
a
is
little
that?
remarkable.
That is 15 Broodlords.
15 Broodlords, 16 Corruptors, 25 Infestors.
Yeah, that's great. I love the really high Infestor compositions. It's very cool. Good amount of Corruptors as well.
Ace is counterattacking. He's not even taking this on yet. All the carriers are just sitting at the back, not really doing anything.
I'm a little bit surprised here, but this is going to be something that Sheth is going to need to either just be okay with, or he's going to need to respond with his entire army, because that is a high DPS army right there for StarTale ACE.
Yes, it is. Looks like putting up some a few spine crawlers there as well, because he was basically maxed, but now ACE has lost 2 bases. He does have the base over at the island, but he's not started mining off of it yet.
Bad rally there on that Nexus. Yeah, the probe's just kind of chilling out, and all the Stargates are going to go down as well. Sheth, despite losing these bases, is going to be able to, oh wow, one pylon powering all those, is going to be able to make sure that the carriers that are out now are going to be the only ones that ACE gets to make this game.
And I love this. A lot of his tech is still in place with the second Greater Spire as well. So he's just spamming hatchery, so he makes sure he has some available larvae to put up another round of units with his ridiculous bank.
Well, he can start expanding towards his opponent's base, too. I mean, remember what Anyang Prime did in that one map against Liquid Huron in Tomb Valley. He just started keeping his army where it was, letting Hero kill bases and just sort of slowly expanding around the map. Now, Sheth is a little bit supply blocked, but he does have some overlords on the way, and he's trying to just get himself in a position to sort of intercept what ACE has coming back across the map. Now, with the mothership, he could recall this, and I think that's probably what he's going to do.
That's kind of what I was
just waiting for the army to show up.
I'm not even sure where the mothership is.
It is right on the production queue somewhere.
Yeah, it's there, but I just don't know where it's there. It is. Okay.
She's ready.
Yep. More Stargates coming up, more carriers on the way. This is going to be very close to a max carrier force here in a bit, but ACE has gone through a lot of his bank now, and he's still sitting on just 168 supply.
Oh, so that's what +3 flyer attacks look like. You don't get to see that anymore, very often.
Yellow, green, blue.
Yep, getting observer speed as well. Yeah. Well, Sheth is in a good spot. ACE just kind of still waiting to recall his army there.
Yeah.
And when he does and joins it up with the carriers, he's going to be in a great spot. He's got a strong army.
Both players are mining off of one base at the moment. This Nexus does not stand a chance. 3-3 Broodlords kill building so quick. That's ridiculous.
You know, Sheth is almost just being like, hey, man, if you just want to kill my bases, that's okay, because my army is gigantic, and I'll just continue to kill your bases, and now I know you don't really have any mining time. At least that's what Sheth thinks, because he doesn't know about the base up on the top left part of the map.
Still doesn't know about it. You are right.
He really should do something about this army, though. Even if he knows that it's going to be recalled, he's about to lose like all his tech.
Yeah, this is pretty devastating. I don't know where the second Greater Spire is at. We'll take a look at that here in just a bit. In fact, we know a lot of this is going to go down. Let's see here. Sheth trying to come in now. Oh, pretty good force field there. But a bunch of Infested Terrans still are going to get up to the top. We'll see if this gets recalled. Hive goes down.
Oh, and yeah, the Protoss force is not worried too much about those Infested Terrans. A couple Archons being lost, but there's the recall.
Boom.
And they are out of there, back to the main base. And now Sheth, I feel like he can go out and attack.
ACE
throw down a few more bases and go for it.
ACE needs some more carriers, though. He's getting a few up.
Yeah, he only has how many? He 12. Only has 12
My
carriers.
God.
That is a little bit low.
Yes.
Yeah, you normally.
He's only at 169 supply. Come on.
He could get he could get more carriers.
Yes.
And why not?
And he better. All right.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Jeez.
God, jeez.
Oh, idiot. Both turned into Napoleon Dynamite for a second there.
I know. Kind of feel dirty. So I'm just going to shake that off for a second. Go back to Manly Golem. Hello.
Manly Golem. That's right.
Well.
And my axe.
Okay.
You have my bow.
And my axe. Well, this is Dark Shrine finally coming up for Ace, so we will have another method of getting to Archons in addition to those annoying DTs, depending on the Overseer count. There are 7 on the field right now. Oh, nice job trapping some of those units in the middle. Little AoE done to the Corruptors, though. Actually was quite a bit of damage done. Sheth has to watch out for those as he moves forward.
Infestor headbutt. Costing him
effective.
Nothing. Wow. Lucky Infestor there.
Any.
All right, so Ace still continuing to maneuver around the map. That's a lot of carriers, but is it enough? There's still a good amount of Corruptors out, a good amount of Infested Terrans. Keep in mind, the Infested Terrans are really what's going to help out Sheth quite a bit. Nice split there. He doesn't want to get everything Vortex, but he's got to get something there in a hurry. Otherwise, those Broodlords are going to die to the carriers. Ooh, Sheth needs to be careful here. He's going to kill quite a few interfestors.
Infestors and Interceptors. Whoa, that mothership went down in about half a second.
Man.
The Corruptors just powering through and annihilating that. So no Vortex is available. That makes Ace's position a lot weaker, and we'll see if Sheth can capitalize on it.
Oh, he could fungal all those carriers, too.
Yeah.
Well, he could have. Oh, there we go. Oh, he does manage to neural one there. Fungals on some of the other carriers. Here we go. Infested Terrans coming out right now. Does Sheth have enough?
Storm's actually hitting a lot of units. Most of the Corruptors have gone down now. Yeah, a lot of the Interceptors have died, but Ace still has a good number of carriers available. Still 86 Interceptors sitting on that.
He could storm all of those Infested Terrans as well, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Sheth's army is dying rapidly, but Ace has lost a lot of Interceptors with this. Oh, but all the Infestors are not going to have a very good day. Neural Parasite and another carrier to try to bring it over to where the army can kill it. But with all those Corruptors dead, I think Sheth's going to have a hard time. Yeah, Ace can just fly away, and that's just energy that's going to be wasted now.
And how much energy is left on these? Let's see. Wow, there's only one sitting with any decent energy at all.
Yeah.
That's this one right here. So enough for one Neural Parasite. But Ace, he's looking all right.
He's not looking bad, but
Sheth
is making
29
Corruptors.
Oh my God!
Sheth has a better economy.
Yes, he does.
He's got more supply right now. So even though Ace did kind of, sort of come out ahead, he's still doing great. I mean, he's got DTs killing those expansions there. The space has not been discovered either.
Okay, well, we are crossing the 45-minute mark. This is a little bit crazy.
Crazy, man.
But you guys have been enjoying this, and I hope this is indicative of things to come. This has been very back and forth.
Yeah, well, carriers being shown to us by Ace, showing us how it's done. These StarTale Protoss players, man, they know how to use their carriers.
Oh, wow. The Corruptors are starting to catch up. Drop Corruption on one of the carriers. It goes down immediately, falling back now so we can get some Storms off with the High Templar. It's a lot of Storms sitting there, and the Corruptors taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I got to be a little bit careful with that. Needs to kind of split up his Corruptors before he goes in. And Ace, this is kind of one of those weird ladder games where your opponent just like shacks up on an island out in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, now just come and attack me. And it's just really annoying for a long time trying to kill him.
I'm remembering like Scrap Station TVTs.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what this
feels like to me. They line it with missile turrets, and you're like, you're not going to win, but it's just going to be so annoying to go through it all.
I know. Well,
Sheth, though, he's gonna kill all the production of Ace, and you know what, Ace, you may have that little island, but that island is not big enough to contain all of your tech.
Now, the economy not quite good enough for Ace either. He has 26 workers at the moment. He's trying to get this one saturated. He probably could have risked a Warp Prism sending some units over there to try and assist, but didn't really do anything with that. Sheth putting up another base, though, as he continues to siege up the production for Ace. And Ace, thinking about reacting, still has a lot of carriers there, but needs to move out with them soon.
He can also recall a lot of those, too, if he groups them up, too, after this fight. He's going to try to go after the Broodlords here. Sheth putting down some defensive Infested Terrans.
He baits out a lot of energy from the Infestors at the very least, though. But here come the Corruptors.
Oh, that's a lot of Corruptors. That is a ton of Corruptors. Neural Parasites on some of the carriers. Well, there, he has to recall. Gets a couple away, but these carriers are not going to make it.
Yep.
Yeah, they are dead. And I feel like even at home, I don't think that Ace has enough. He's got a ton of High Templar, though, so maybe the Storms would be enough combined to work on those Corruptors, but Sheth is just in a great spot right now. I mean, if he finds that island, if he finds the island in the lower left, he's going to just kill that base no problem because Ace can't get there in time. So
yeah, well now I mean, there's nothing that's going to pop out of Ace now. I mean, he's got a couple of Dark Templar coming up. I mean, this is Sheth's only real mining base at the moment. He has to reestablish a couple of bases. Yeah, it looks like
he left his Nidus Worm alive. That's nice.
Very kind of him.
Merciful. Yes. Well, there's a Stargate on the way for Ace. He's going to try to rebuild, but yeah, the islands just simply don't have enough space to build what he needs to build. And look at his income too. It's very, very low right now. It's only slightly higher than Sheth's,
but
it's also
the fact
low.
of the matter is that he has to make up 70 supply on an economy that's basically the same.
Sheth has basically an unkillable army right now. At this point in the game, it's very doubtful that ACE is going to be able to come back and win this, but you know, stranger things have happened, and this is already probably one of the strangest games I've seen in a long time.
Well, that's 37 Corruptors. Have you seen 37 Corruptors in one place in a pro game
have
before?
Right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I don't know what that sound was, but that was just
That's
like,
what that reminded me of. That song from back in the day where people sound like they're kind of sleeping while they're singing it
yeah.
a little bit. Let me sleep.
Well, Sheth just continuing to siege up these bases. I mean, not a lot that can be said right now. I mean, ACE is playing the delay game. He's trying to sit back, reestablish his economy, which he is doing pretty well, I have to say. He's going to need 1 million pylons here in a second.
You know, whenever Sheth thinks about giving up, he just thinks about that one spine crawler that was brutally chased to death by those zealots.
This is in memory of that. So.
It's you know that I Will Remember You song that plays during the sad like dog pound commercials?
Yes.
He thinks of that song in his head while he's thinking about that spine crawler getting chased by those zealots, and that's what really inspires him to go on. That's what drives Liquid Sheth, and that may give him the win here in Game 2.
We didn't see Sheth was actually ducking forward a little bit and just trying to snipe carriers just one by one because he can replenish his army so quickly, and that's okay by him. So map's almost mined out, though. We do have a couple more mining bases going, but even the island's going to start getting low here in just a second.
Yep. Man, I'd love to see that slowed down with that song put behind.
Oh, well done, ACE.
Hey, there's still some fight left in this one.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Kills a few more workers. Sheth is down to just 18 workers at the moment, but reproduces a few drones. Yeah, there we go.
Void Ray's like, how'd it go? The War Prism's like, pretty good, man. He's like, cool, can I come out and attack the War Prism's like, nope.
This is like
Sorry.
a resistance right now. Sheth is just the oppressor, and from these islands here, islands. I said islands again. We both said that in this game.
Well, when you combine pylon with island, it becomes an island.
I guess so. But this is the guerrilla resistance that's set up now. They're just waiting for like the secret shipment of nuclear weapons that they can place underneath the oppressor's army. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh. Well, there's some infestors. There's some corruptors.
Yep.
Over's here.
Hey!
There we go. Okay, so that base is pretty dead.
Yeah, this Void Race is like, it's my time to shine.
Like, I'm
going to kill birdlings. Okay.
He's like, I do plus damage to massive units, and you know what? He's actually going to kill a Broodlord. So there you go. That Void Ray can die happy. He contributed to the cause.
He did, but now he's dead.
Almost gets 2 Broodlords, but not quite. Yeah.
Hey, there's another carrier under production. So ACE now holed up officially at this island, and that's it.
Yeah, and he's got a strong force. He's still got the carriers. He's got plenty of Templar with plenty of energy. He's making 1 carrier right now. But Sheth could pretty much take the remainder of the base on the map. Although, if you look right here, Sheth is actually taking more damage from the Templars. So,
well done.
It's not as easy. Now he's just messing with him.
Yeah.
He's like, there, I like to be thorough.
It's funny, too. My brother called me right before we went on air just to chat for a while. I was like, oh, no problem. We got a match, and then I'll just call you afterwards. It'll be good. And
it's going to be a long match.
It's going to take about 8 hours, apparently. So,
well, you know, ACE, he's got kind of a cool single-player looking base there on his side of the map. A little bit of everything.
Yep. I love that. That's actually like somewhere like Blizzard imagined that this was going to be a game. The Dark Shrine Templar
Archives. This looks like a screenshot from the back of the box or something like that. It's like every game you'll get carriers and everything. It's going to be great. You're going to be on this island, and
if only there were rocks there.
It's going to be neat. Well, there were sort of, but it was a creep tumor instead. Island maps are something that I keep thinking about in StarCraft 2. I don't think we're going to ever see them really happen. I mean, they weren't that great in Brood War anyway, but
ACE is still playing.
As far as like competitive play, but it'd still be neat to kind of see.
ACE is still playing 250 APM like on his island.
What is he APMing right now?
That was 222. He's at almost 300 though at the moment. So
Sheth.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going after.
Infested Terrans.
Let's see. Let's follow.
Something to do.
This is ACE's vision here. So we're going to follow ACE's camera for a little bit in the observer view as Sheth starts.
The observers. Okay. Oh, hold on. Things are happening. Here we go. Sheth with the final push. Does he have what it takes to take out these carriers? If ACE wins this, I'm just going to go insane, man. I mean, it's just going to be the craziest thing, and I
Sheth,
don't think he can.
Do you
Sheth,
have what it takes to be a champion?
he's surrounding everything. Storm's going down on all of Sheth's units. The Corruptor's taking damage, but not enough to make it a win.
GG! Liquid Sheth has won the game. 55 minutes in. We are all tied up 1-1. Manor Bear taking things.